My name is Siobhán Humston and I'm an artist. My path to being an artist, I think, began with music. So I started taking piano at the age of 7 and then went to a choir and theatre school at age 8, 9, where we had music every day. So that was really pivotal in the creative process. Also being quite a sickly child. I was born with a heart condition and was not expected to live very long. So I guess soaking up those moments of quiet transferred into music and then into artwork. And I found that I really enjoyed the idea of making my own work from my own ideas, from my own stories and what I was interested in. So that's how the journey began. And I did 4 years of art school after that. So. My working methods have evolved quite a bit, knowing that I wanted to make something that was sustainable and that I didn't have to go out and buy supplies that would end up being in storage. So all my life as an artist, you store things, right? So wanting to make things that not necessarily broke down, but that could be folded up or could become smaller or could be composted if need be. So my last show actually, pretty much the whole show, all 14 pieces and massive amounts of boxes could be composted. So the paper and everything else that was made with could be composted, which is kind of an interesting dynamic. Well, we try and control as much as we can. But then part of the joy of being an artist is seeing what you're out of control with. And that's one of the reasons I use watercolor, is because it does its own thing. I can't control how watercolor is going to dry. I know how to manipulate it. I know how it will probably dry, but I don't know how the water will shape within the paper depending on the thickness of it. And so same with leaves. Like I collected a bunch of leaves the other day and I pressed them all, and then I decided I was going to seal them with matte medium so that I could paint on them or cut. And the next day they were all curled up. I had one of them flat. So you just don't know. You have to go with the flow, and it's like playing in a void in a way. So when someone connects with it, even if it's one person with a feedback, you've done maybe what the work is meant to do, which is connect. And that's a little bit of that idea with being out in nature. We come to nature for connection, whether we think it's in the guise of exercise. It really isn't. It's for connection, it's for fresh air, it's for our health and our mental state of mind. So when someone else connects with it, with my work, through nature, that's really it. I think part of being an artist in the contemporary art world is that challenge of making work that is so-called beautiful, but also can be stimulating for the intellect and can be stimulating for the emotions as well. And so there's a little bit of that push and pull with the academic world. Like, you know, there's a danger if you make beautiful work about something that's in decline, that you're missing the mark kind of thing. Or if it's too pretty, then it's not academic and it's not meaningful in that way. But I think really now people are knowing more and more that you can have both. You can be enraptured or captivated by work, but also be stimulated with your thoughts and with your ideas, and it can push you forward. It can inspire you to make more work, or to make work, or to write, or just to go to nature, or just to be. So I think it's nice to know that it's connecting. What inspires my work is pretty basic. It's nature and human connection with nature, myself included. And the motivation to make work is from those thought processes. And I think what motivates it is just, you know, just keep working. Just if you stop working, if I stop working, then I'm not healthy. I'm not as healthy as I can be. I'm not using that language that I need to stay stable, I guess. My initial inspiration for nature probably comes from childhood. As most artists can tell you, there's something in their childhood that springboards them forward. But spending time in the woods as a child, spending time reading on the grass, and then more pivotal was my decision to go to Ireland to do my undergrad, and being in a place that's just so richly, nature is so richly part of the psyche there, and the history of nature in their stories, in their music, and in their landscapes. And so that really fed a lot of my desires and gave me a lot of fodder to work with. So this idea of, you know, things that were 4,000 years old, the standing stones and how they worked formally but also in with nature, and then the idea of ley lines, and that really started something a little more deep. And my work was very, I think up until maybe the last dozen years, was quite surface. Maybe a lot of people would say it was decorative, and at best, you know, just kind of fluff or whatever, like just you know, shapes and colors, very much interested in that. But that idea of what lays underneath never really left. So the desire for me to make installation work and to push beyond the painting really did stem from that time in Ireland, and looking at ley lines and what lies underneath, what we can't see necessarily, but what really probably excites us in a way that we don't even realize. My ideas in making work is really, in a way, to be a teacher. And that sounds maybe, gives it more gravitas than maybe it actually has. But this idea of me observing nature and then transforming it to something else is really important to me. And I guess through social medias, having feedback from people, which was really poignant, saying you notice things, or you observe things, or you share things in a way that I haven't seen before, or that I wouldn't notice. And now I'm looking at the leaves close up, or I want to get a macro lens, or I want to see how leaves can be sewn together or attached to clothing. Like there's a way that's the work can be shared and land. And so that's become really important to me. So this idea is observing and translating and sharing, and part of a methodology or a day-to-day aesthetics or a day-to-day methodology that I use. So one moves very easily into the next, and it's just become part of this process for me. Well, I wonder too about how much people are aware, without being aware, of the energy that it takes to make a work, or that's imbued in it. So the idea of taking a tree that was dead and not knowing what I was going to do with it and turn it upside down and hang it, it's perspective. So people don't necessarily realize that they're being drawn into this story with a conscious decision that was made by an artist and a curator and the staff that hung it and the space that it plays within. And so I think without knowing it, people are drawn to those things, and they like having their brain switched on a little bit. They like being inspired, and they like saying, why is it upside down, and why is there a wall of roots, and why are they upside down? I don't understand that. So the brain and the psyche loves curiosity, and I think that's another aspect of what I do. I'm curious because I'm now possibly addicted to that curiosity and to sharing it. The Sculpture Park has been a complete gift and a complete blessing, and it's really hard because I'm still in it to really verbalize how that's impacted. But I think, as always, it's nature, but the gift of time in a place, and also being selected for something and valued is amazing for an artist. And then, of course, to be surrounded by these amazing works of art that are also really thoughtful and have a lot of stories has been really impactful for me. And the gift of time, so the gift of space, and then seeing also how they interact with nature in a very solid way. They're so different than my work, but in that way they're just really playing with nature, which has really impacted my work in a lot of ways. I wish to keep making work, just keep making work that's cohesive, that will connect to an audience, that hopefully more astutely translates into something that people will be captivated by. So this growth is the idea of making work that connects. And then the growth is also practical. Like how do I keep making this work? How can it connect, and how can I manage to support myself by making this kind of obscure pieces in a way that they're not sold. You know, it's a little bit of a niche market, making things out of tree branches that will decline. So the growth is multifaceted. It's practical, but it's also esoteric in a way. To be appreciated for what I do is huge, and I think it depends on the day that you ask any given artist how they move forward in the world and how they manage their lives will change from day to day. Today, you know, it feels like a good day to be an artist, to be appreciated and to be where I am. And then there's other days where it just seems like a challenge and you're not really sure why you keep doing it, because maybe it doesn't land in a place, or maybe you don't hear back from the 20 emails that you sent out, or, you know, all those challenges that every person that creates hits up against those challenges. But the moments where you do sell something, or someone connects with it, or someone emails you that you don't even know and says how meaningful something was, then that's really what impacts. And I think stepping outside of societal norms where you earn a certain amount each year and you have to pay this amount to get by is what most artists do, because we can't put a value, a monetary, a very steady value on the time. How would I be paid for the time? Because it happens in my sleep and it happens when I'm out walking. So that is something that you don't necessarily expect, but you know, I'm at a state where I feel like I am being compensated in ways that maybe I didn't even think were possible. I hope that my work, or I wish that my work, just connects. And knowing that when you make work, you just don't know. You don't know whether it will, whether it will ever be seen, because maybe it falls flat, or maybe it collapses, or it doesn't succeed. But when it does hit an audience, that people can connect with it in some way. And that way is hopefully in the same way that when someone goes for a swim, or goes for a walk in the woods, or is just admiring a flower, so there's a delight or an awe, that is the ultimate for me. And also that questioning and that curiosity. So my wish is that my curiosity and my inspiration and my delight in making is transfused into the work, and therefore into the audience as well.